There are some fantastic MPs, Labour MPs, involved in this campaign and doing their bit. One of them is Andy MacDonald from Middlesbrough, who I've seen take the government to task over Redcar. Andy, thank you.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Yes, I'm Andy MacDonald, MP for Middlesbrough. It's my hometown, and it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for iron and steel. My forebears came across from Ireland in the 19th century. The town wasn't there. It's iron and steel that made it. The only reason I'm an MP is because of iron and steel. The only reason I'm talking to you today is because of iron and steel. So it's my very great privilege to be talking to you in this steel city. You'll be aware that there's been a lot of people wanting to come down from Teesside today, but there's a jobs fair going on. So a lot of people are there trying to get into alternative employment, and I know there'll be a loud message going from this hall to colleagues in Teesside who are there trying to gain alternative employment, and I know you'll be wishing them well. Colleagues, it's already been mentioned that what happened on Teesside was an act of absolute industrial vandalism. The Tory government did absolutely nothing to assist. We know the difficulties that SSI had, but there was a future. There was the opportunity for the government to intervene and save those coke ovens and allow the coal to be pushed through and put power into the national grid. That would have made a profit. They had the opportunity to keep people in work and to produce a managed closure of the blast furnace. They didn't do that, and it's an absolute disgrace, and it'll shame on them for ever doing that, and it'll live with them for the rest of their days. But I want to pay tribute to all of the trade unions involved in this, Community, Unite, GMB. The united and singularity of purpose is absolutely crystal clear. And I also want to pay tribute to my Teesside colleagues, Anna Turley and Tom Blenkinsop, for their unstinting endeavours in trying to save the industry. Sadly, colleagues, it doesn't end there for us on Teesside, because not only did we have SSI closure, and whichever way you cook it, that's up to 9,000 families without income coming into them this Christmas. We've had, in addition, we've had Bulby Potash go with 700 jobs. We've had Air Products go with 700 jobs. And to add insult to injury, we have our own government rubbing salt into their wounds and closing local tax offices with another 700 jobs gone. They should be bloody well ashamed of themselves for inflicting that pain on us. And as previous speakers have mentioned, I think if I hear the words Northern Powerhouse ever again, I think I'll be ill. And to think that we've got this commitment to the building up of our infrastructure, well, the Tories got to understand that infrastructure, HS2, it needs rail, it needs gantries, it needs stations, all of which are going to need steel. For goodness sake, what are we thinking of in opening the doors to Chinese competitors to come in and take our industry from us? It's complete and utter madness. Colleagues, can I just dispel some mythology about state aid? Because it's been put up time and time again by the Tories as if this is the complete and utter barrier to any intervention on their part. It's not true. It happens in other European countries. If you look at Florange in France, there was intervention there on environmental grounds. If you look at Germany, there's assistance there with energy costs. If you look at Italy, you look at the Ilva plant at Taranto, there was assistance there, again on environmental grounds. There are ways of doing it. The difference in attitude in Italy is stark. You have a government, and we're talking about Prime Minister Monti and Prime Minister Renzi. These are not card-carrying Marxists by any stretch of the imagination, but they recognised the strategic importance of that industry. They also recognised the social consequences of allowing an industry to fall over, and they make sure that that is within their legislation that they intervene. we just don't get the concept at all. We have a Secretary of State for Business Innovation and Skills who tells the Financial Times not 6 weeks ago that he doesn't believe in industrial strategy. Well, my God, if you don't believe in industrial strategy, get out and let somebody else in who can do the job, because you're not fit for it. And let's get it right about state aid. You know, we have now been reported as a nation by Austria to the Commission for the state aid that we have given. But it's state aid that's come about as a result of the deal that we've done with the Chinese for the nuclear industry and the guarantees we've given to EDF, a French state-owned company, to deliver them twice the strike rate that everybody in this room is going to pay for, and we've been reported to the Commission for state aid to a French state-owned company. How ludicrous is that? But colleagues, what we're asking for, this isn't a begging bowl that's going out. We have got viable, vitally important strategic industries that we must support, and it applies to steel, it applies to chemicals and polymers and cement and ceramics and paper mills. They're all pleading the same case. You've got to work with us. We must have an industrial strategy in this country. So we've got to look to that comprehensive spending review on Wednesday, and we've got to hold Osborne to account and make sure that the asks of industry, which are modest by any stretch of the imagination, are delivered in full. Now, I hope that he's sitting there planning a way to pull the rabbit out of their hat and say that these asks are going to be satisfied. But we'll be watching all the way. But it's only a matter of a desk officer in Brussels signing this off. And we've said time and time again to the Chancellor, for goodness sake, put it into place now. Retrospective approval will come. And look at examples in Italy. They've stepped in, they've helped. That plant is still going. If there's a complaint coming down the track, we'll deal with it then. But for goodness sake, get off your backside and do something now. I simply want to close, because I'm getting told off here. I simply want to get the message across that Labour is with this industry and with you all, shoulder to shoulder, and we'll be there until we succeed with this. Solidarity. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.